Hello boys and girls, Storyball Josh here, and this is my SouthTube story. It all started back in 2007. I was currently living in Atlanta, and I was brand new to the whole YouTube thing, the whole vloggerhood. At the time I was doing a weekly video, a weekly show with my good buddy Carlos Octavian called That's Right I Said It on the Record. It's a long name, but he had a blog called On the Record. I had a blog called That's Right I Said It, and we just combined the two. We called it Trissioter for short. And started discovering other, YouTubers, and started looking into some of the bigger name people that I heard other people talking about, and Naltz was one of them. And so I was watching some of Nalt's videos, and then he started talking. I saw one where he was talking about SouthTube in Atlanta, Georgia. This is, right where I'm living. I lived actually just southeast of Atlanta, and so I'm like, I've got to go to this. So I went to my boss, told him, hey, I need a couple days off. He said, no problem. And I head up to Marietta, just north of Atlanta. But before that, I actually made a couple videos talking about it, trying to get my name out there so that maybe I would, some of the other SouthTubers would, get to know my face and everything like that. And I ended up posting one video called Cousin Cletus is Going to SouthTube. Next thing you know, that thing's getting hits. I mean, it's blowing up, at least for me, ended up getting over 1,000 hits. And for, some guy who's brand new who only had 24 subscribers, that was huge. And I saw that there was a video response by X and I thought it was because of her video response that was bringing all this traffic over to mine, which I thought was super awesome. I thought it was badass. I was like, hey, I've got somebody who's, doing a video response, sending, traffic my way and stuff. I thought it was cool as hell. And then I find out once I get there that the reason why I was getting so much traffic was actually because I was featured. At the time, you had your front page features, that had a few people, and then there was featured videos for different categories, like people in blogs, travel and events, comedy, what have you. And I was featured under the travel and events page, which I thought was cool. Again, I don't know hardly anybody. I've seen the list of the people who were going, and so I'm checking out their pages, and I'm leaving comments, hey, I look forward to seeing you, blah, blah, blah. And, but again, nobody knows me, So, as soon as I walk in, Oh Shut Her Up is right at the door. And she goes, Storyball Josh! And right then, that was just the greatest thing in the world. Somebody recognized me, And I thought it was really cool that I got that as soon as I walk in, having only 24 subs, bam, I'm getting recognized. And then so we talk for a minute, and then I'm running around just meeting everybody and seeing people that I've become fans of. And there's some big name people there like Naltz and Zipster08 and SXE Phil was there, and a whole bunch of people. And it was just absolutely amazing. And I got to make some great friends there. And meet some new wonderful people. And, I mean, all around just great times. There was no big, events really going on. I mean, we had, like, the ballroom and all that stuff where they did, like, the King and Queen that they do every year. But for the most part, it was just everybody hanging out, having a great time, a lot of filming going on, and just hanging out, and it was awesome. And I knew, it's like, this is something I want to do every year that I'm able to. I want to go to every YouTube gathering that I can. Unfortunately, the only ones I've been able to go to are the SouthTube gatherings. There's been many gatherings, but I've been fortunate enough to make it, at least barely in some cases, to every SouthTube. SouthTube 2 was in Nashville, and by this time I had moved up to Kentucky. Again, it's about an hour and a half away. So I find out it's going to be in Nashville. I was like, hells yeah, I'm definitely going, And then that one, I'd have to say SouthTube 1 might have been, it's definitely the biggest. I don't know if I'd say if it was actually the best. I think it had the best, overall turnout and had the most publicity and notoriety and all that stuff. But SouthTube 2, I'd have to say, was personally my favorite, because by the time SouthTube 2 came around, there was a lot more people that I knew, and I've started developing personal relationships with other YouTubers, and so I got to meet some of my favorites, like like Captain Fury 2007, Lucky Strike 502, Dillagaff 333, and the four of us ended up actually hanging out, or actually ended up rooming together, and we just had a blast. Plus, I held my first YouTube contest ever, and that was Win 3-Ball Josh as your personal bitch for a day, which was won by Cinder F and Rella. And there's plenty of video on that. You just look up 3-Ball Bitch on YouTube, and you'll find lots and lots of videos, and I'll even post a link to a few of them in the description. But then SouthTube 3 came along, Chattanooga, Tennessee. That one I barely made it to. There was a lot of issues going on, and really strapped for cash. And then I ended up getting called by a bunch of people saying, dude, you need to get down here, you need to get down here. And that's about a 3-hour drive from where I'm at. And what really got me was I ended up getting a call for some person, and he handed the phone off to Lemonette. And Lemonette told me I needed to get my ass down there. If Lemonette tells me to get my ass down there, I'm going to get my ass down there, because I don't, you don't tell Lemonette no. That's just how it is. SouthTube 4 was fun. Back in Atlanta. That one was pretty cool for me, because I got to bring a date, a girl that I was seeing at the time, and got to really show her why I was so excited about the gathering and everything like that. And again, got to meet some more cool people. Got to see some old cool people that that I've seen through the rest of them. And then now comes SouthTube 5, again in Atlanta, or no, I'm sorry, in Nashville. Again, about an hour and a half away. And yeah, I'm excited, because there's only a few of us that have been to all 4 previous ones, and I think there's probably going to be even less that have been to that will be at 5. So, like I had said in a previous video, those of us that have made it to all of them, we're a dying breed. And I'm hoping to get, some sort of video collab, or at least a picture or something with those of us that have actually made it to all 5. But we'll see. This is running kind of long right now. I'll have a little bit more on this later, a little bit more on SouthTube later. Probably my next video will be my official video for 3-Ball Josh for SouthTube King. I meant what I said in the last video about SouthTube. If I don't make King, there's going to be a ruckus. So I'm either going to get me that sweet crown, or everybody's going to have one hell of a video to put up. When 3-Ball Josh just loses it and blows up and causes a scene, it's going to be ugly. But that's for another time. If I won 3-Ball Josh, I'd wish I was.